afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, February 13th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern. We can look at our minds as a vehicle to discover the divine. There is no suffering when there is no attachment to the thoughts, feelings, the body, or to your mind. There is no suffering when there is no attachment to the thoughts, feelings, the body, or to your mind. When you see that the mind is your friend, your number one vehicle that takes you from one experience to another, you stop treating it like a dumb soldier or slave. As we respect the mind and the life stream that is floating behind it, we see that there is only divine peace, lightness, oneness to be found. Watch the mind as you relax your body. Drop into the most profound, restful feeling you have ever had in your life, and notice how your mind behaves. Just notice. Do not judge. Just watch this amazingly powerful machine go to work. The most amazing things start happening when the mind is completely at ease. Man cannot discover new oceans unless he has the courage to lose sight of the shore. Andre Guide. Becoming self-realized is the first step on the infinite journey towards enlightenment. When we are self-realized, we are living each moment in a deep, intimate connection and love affair with God. There is no more separation from the divine. We are awakened to the realization that we are pure, untainted divine consciousness, knowing we are beyond time, space, beyond form and formlessness. We realize we are that which is beyond the mind. We are beyond every concept of ourselves. When we start on the path to self-realization, we stop consciously following every thought the mind thinks. We will hear them, see them pass by, and yet somehow mysteriously we don't buy into them, believing that they are real. We've become so consciously aware of what's happening that we cannot become hooked by the mind, attached to dreaming another dream. We are clear that this is just the mind passing by, and instead we explore an intimate connection with God. The highly intelligent divine consciousness, conscious universe that surrounds us, lives inside of us, and is breathing us now. A truly self-realized person knows no fear. They are constantly full of joy, appreciation, love, and laughter. They realize that every atom in the universe is connected to the highest source of love, life, and consciousness, and deeply understand that they themselves are also that. They see no human as separate from the multidimensional spiritual being they are, who is currently showing up in 8 billion different forms on this planet. The self-realized being is not attached to the form. He or she has recognized the divine play of consciousness that is happening through the body-mind, and through this understanding, they can relax and truly let go. It is impossible for a self-realized being to get lost again in another drama, losing themselves in anger, desire, fear, hopelessness, or sadness. They may experience these emotions as a way to explore the diversity of life's sensual experiences. Yet there is no addiction, attachment, or avoidance of any mental or emotional pattern that arises anymore. They are truly free from any form of anxiety, pain, or suffering anymore. And this is a miracle. The moment that you realize that there is no way to make a home, then this whole existence is home. Then wherever you are, you're at home. A Course in Miracles. The first secret step towards self-realization starts with accepting the fact that you are the very center of this universe, this infinite universe. Because the universe is an infinite field of space and timelessness. Every point on that field thus becomes the center of the entire field. It's hard for the mind to imagine. Yet infinity means there is no absolute end. And this makes every atom inside our physical bodies the actual center of infinity. There is always a smaller microcosm within each microcosm, a center within the center. Thus, we are physically infinite beings on an atomic level. Knowing we are physically the center of the universe, we begin to see reality forms around us like a wheel. We are like the hub of the wheel, and the spokes are our thoughts and feelings. Our manifestation and experiences of reality are an extension of our every thought, intention, and gesture. The spokes all connect to the center, and everything that happens in the periphery of our lives, the outer world, is dependent on what's going on at the center of each of us. If we make up or wake up on the wrong side of the bed, we will notice the entire world seems to be going against us. If we jump out of bed totally excited about our day, the most amazing things will manifest for us all day long. The second secret on the self-realization path is revealed by a deeper exploration of the feeling, sensation, knowing, and experience that we are all truly infinite, eternal beings. A transformation happens when we continuously dive into the center of each atom inside of us, experiencing that we go on and on and on into our experience of life for infinity. The intellectual head knowledge around this fact is not enough, however, to open up to the spiritual experience of it. The head trip falls away, and you move into a more sensitive heart space. It feels like the source of love itself. This is where you lose yourself and let go of your identity of the limited human being you believed you were. In the awakening of your self-realization, you suddenly can see that you are this infinite source of, infinite source of love that is much, much, much more than the world can contain. And you cannot return back to living in a mind full of lack and limitation. As you consciously step out of the small fish pond you were swimming in, you start experiencing the vast, unlimited ocean of existence that is and always was all around you. The third secret is that you know you are accessing this divine, self-realized, relaxed freedom inside of you because you stop taking life and yourself so seriously. Instead, you laugh with those people and situations in life who used to bother you. You enjoy the dramatic play of creativity pouring through everyone and everything. You relax into the harmonic symphony of duality that is happening through you and around you. This relaxation is not just a one-time deal. It's a constant deepening and surrendering that continues each moment of your day and evening. This process opens you up sensually, sexually, and spiritually throughout every day of your life, which fuels even deeper understandings about the 5D, multi-dimensional, limitless being that you truly are. The moment you become self-realized, the very moment you become self-realized, all the stress that was once being carried in the neck, back, jaw, and shoulders suddenly goes away. Nothing seems to bother you anymore. There is no limited, powerless ego personality carrying your problems anymore. You've simply stopped identifying with thoughts and are spending your time relaxing into the spiritual truth of what you are, feeling limitless, free, and all-loving. The more often you accept and integrate the experience that you are infinite, timeless, eternal, without beginning and without end, the more your body-mind drops into a deeper relaxation. You can always tell the difference between a self-realized person and one who is not, because they are having more fun, love, and laughter in their life. They have a bigger smile on their faces and a deeper belly laugh that lasts for minutes, sometimes. Someone who is simply intellectually self-realized is not living the sacred wisdom every day. Will have a hard, serious edge to their face. A self-realized can always laugh because they know that. Nothing real can be threatened and nothing unreal exists. Course in Miracles. There are many wonderful results from choosing to explore the path of self-realization. As you practice realizing that you are pure awareness itself and find that you no longer can become identified with the thoughts that you think, you find that you don't have to try to control your thoughts or micromanage your internal state anymore. There is such an obvious separation between you and your thoughts that you cannot become identified with what dark realms the mind may wander into. The experience of living in a human body becomes so blissful that you don't even have the need to try focusing your mind in a positive direction. The hopeful, positive, life-affirming thoughts just become like little campfires sitting next to the glorious sun that you've discovered is inside you. Another divine benefit from this practice is that the more self-realized you become, each of us become, the less demanding, needy, and impatient we are. We simply stop feeling demanding, needy, and impatient when we realize our deep, intimate connection to the God Source. As the ego begins to have less and less grip on you, your need to control life fades away and eventually dissolves. You simply have less desire to change your outer world because your inner world is so sensually alive, divinely intelligent, and truly ecstatic to experience. Your kundalini awakens on its own, and you become like a walking, talking state of orgasm. Every breath you take brings new sensations into your body, into the body, of utter enjoyment of the divine. Like the state of space, the mind transcends thought. Set it at ease in its own nature, without rejecting it or maintaining it. When the mind is without objective content, it is Mahamudra. Through familiarization with that, supreme enlightenment is achieved. Talopa. As you start feeling God is alive, as we all start feeling truly so, God is alive inside each and every one of us, then we can only see God on the outside of us. This everyday experiences cause us to relax on a profound level that there is nothing the ego can do that can shake you. Whatever your ego desires in the outer world is like a child's toy compared to the network of deeply sensual, erotic, blissful connections bubbling up inside. The outer world is always a reflection of what you are paying attention to on your inner world. When you see and feel the divine inside you, you can only see God in everyone's eyes. When you see and feel the divine inside you, you can only see God in everyone's eyes. Now, I'm sure you're wanting some practical techniques on how to bring about the self-realization experience into your lives, first you must choose to know that this divine state of bliss is very subtle, light, and extremely delicate, and thus can only be reached through very gentle, relaxed, and delicate means. So you first need to entice the hungry, demanding, desiring ego mind to slow down, relax, come to rest. You must choose to practice sitting very, very, very still, meaning physically bringing your body into a non-moving state, as if you were a sitting, solid statue, not moving a single muscle. The body will continue breathing for you, of course, yet the mind will want to wander. Your job is to keep everything still and simply relax. When being completely still, simply watch what happens. As you practice being physically still, allow the mind to remain unfocused. Don't follow the mind when it starts dreaming up another dream or fantasizing about the way life should be or shouldn't be. Just be like the sky, without boundaries or borders, vast and undisturbed. Relax as deeply as you can into this experience. Perhaps 3 minutes a day is a good amount of time to start with. If you can remain completely still, allowing the body to breathe you on its own accord, while the mind is totally unfocused for all 180 seconds, in those 3 minutes, self-realization will find you very quickly. Another very practical tip is to watch what things you do, eat, drink, say, watch, listen to, and react to, which hinder you from becoming more quiet, silent, and still. When you find out what those things are, simply stop doing them, or do them with more awareness of the stillness inside. This path is all about becoming 110% devoted to finding complete stillness inside you. The more often you practice, the more things will arise, and you'll soon become even more sensitive and conscious of what works for you and against you. Eventually, in time, you'll begin to trust yourself completely. Realize how extremely powerful and enjoyable your life has become through practicing stillness. Stop all physical activity. Sit naturally at ease. Do not talk or speak. Let sound be simply empty, like an echo. Do not think about anything. Look at experience beyond thought. Your body has no core, hollow like bamboo. Your mind goes beyond thought, open like space. Let go of control and rest right here. Come up. In order to have any level of long-term success with this monumental stillness feat, you must choose to be very gentle with yourselves all along the day. Give yourselves permission to be alone as often as you can. Face the fear of loneliness and embrace the feeling of being connected with the divine. In this quest, you must choose to give up all your addictions, for they become a substitute for finding God. Be free from your attachment to those habits, people, and things which you know never really satisfy you and only make life harder and smaller. This is about finding what really satisfies your soul. This means finding the source of love itself and abiding there. If you can practice stillness for an hour a day, your mind will start to become more quiet. It may take you only 2 to 3 weeks before the initial states of self-realization start to settle in. If you can only be still for a few minutes a day, it is a good start. Yet don't expect too much. The more amount of time that you can invest into stillness, the faster self-realization will occur. If you have a very active mind, something good to practice before you attempt to be still is to practice for a few minutes, keeping your mind focusing on one thing. This means one spot, one thought, one direction, one word, sound, number, anything that is the same one thing. You want to do this in a relaxed way with close to zero force and control if possible. The mind will pull at you like a wild elephant of the jungle who is chained to a circus pole. You simply ignore the mind and return to the one pointed direction of focus. This practice will build the muscle that you'll need to remain focused on being unfocused and laser through all the unwanted garbage of thoughts that can bubble up. Be surprised at nothing. Let peace and stillness flood through you and envelop you completely in its cloak. Put on the whole armor of love, and yet feel very deeply. Let tears flow, washing away impurities until you feel clean within, clean without. Become an empty vessel, ready to be filled with life's nectar. Eileen Canning. Every thought the mind is projecting onto the outer world can be a form of distraction or used as a path towards awakening. It all depends on if you realize your true infinite nature. Self-realization is not that difficult. It's just another way of experiencing this life. Yet, you must choose to be courageous, willing to explore the unknown, dive into something that is more profound, real, and fulfilling on your inner world. This path is about holding on to nothing and letting go of everything. Holding on to nothing and letting go of everything inside you. The habit of surrendering to the stillness that abides at the core of the whirling, wild, hankering mind is the key. With patience and with practice, you will find a new way of experiencing life that is without tension, anxiety, and fear. The journey towards self-realization is one we have all been attempting to experience for lifetimes. Enlightenment is the final destination, the goal of human life, and the reason you've been placed here in this so-called school on earth. As you practice being still and realize that you are the God source itself, the very creator of reality, you will begin to relax about everything and feel this deep, ecstatic peace inside your body. This profound, loving feeling provides no other choice than to have compassion for everyone who is not experiencing this exquisite state of orgasmic energy and show them what they can do to find it within themselves. Today is your day to take this first step and explore what a self-realized life is like for you. Go gently and always remember to enjoy the journey along the way. It's about relaxing into this universe, realizing the essence of who and what you truly are. It is quiet. It is quite the infinite, magical ride. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. And the first thing that we care to do, relax the body we are in. All the stress, anxiety, and fear and everything, the body is like a super magnetic sponge. And it absorbs everything. And a lot of things you don't even realize it absorbs. So we focus on our breath. Breath is divine positive energy. I mean, it sustains the physical vessel that houses the God that you are so that you can experience the physical vessel life. So as we focus on our breath, we don't engage the mind and the ego. We don't. We aren't interested in that. We still the ego mind and the subconscious mind. You'd be amazed at what happens when you can leave your mind alone for even a few minutes. And this is our practice, to learn how to leave the mind alone and let it do whatever it does without intervening, without grappling, without stressing, without anxiety, without expectations, without attachments. If you were to look at your body, because we know we're not the body, we're not the personality, the character. We're not the clothes. We're not the status. We're the God within. Once you begin to understand that, then you're watching all of this. You're not judging. You're watching all this come and go. You're watching the ego mind doing its thing. You're watching the subconscious mind doing its thing, but you aren't participating. You know that to stay within that body is not forever. So you enjoy certain things. But you have no attachment to the ego mind. You have no attachment to the body. And you know emphatically that within you is the God that you are. It's a big difference if you visualize this. You have a magic carpet, and it flies. It never touches the ground. And you have your feet and legs that you walk the road, and all of the obstacles that are there. The obstacles are created by the ego mind. And the subconscious mind. But when you become self-realized, you're on the carpet. And you fly anywhere you choose, flawlessly and effortlessly. You enjoy anything that you desire, flawlessly and effortlessly. You see the difference as you walk along with your legs and feet in that body. Every obstacle is there. Tiredness, fatigue, thirsty, hungry, frustrated, angry, stressed, greed. It's all there. Now, on the carpet, you move the body, but you are not the body. You move the body from the carpet, but you know that you are not the body. So all the things that affect us, that are illusions, that we bring into reality and experience, are not there. Only the ones that we choose to be. And then we find ourselves laughing a lot more, smiling a lot more. Because when you look right now on this planet and the civilization, you laugh because it is comical. When you really are, you step outside of that machine, that matrix. you really begin to realize how silly it all is. But the majority of us are caught in the ego mind, subconscious mind. So we're pulled into the muck and mire. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that we consciously are aware of this, but before you know it, you're in the muck and mire. And what do we do? What do we do when we're in the muck and mire? Which means the ego mind, subconscious mind. And they're literally dictating to us on, how to think, how to feel, where to go, what to do. And feeding more and more fear and frustration, anxiety. Sure, we have those moments of fun, excitement, enjoyment, but they don't last. We've been taught that that's the way it is, that you only have that for a short period of time. You're not supposed to have it all the time. What's wrong with you? Just once in a while to have that fun, footloose, fancy-free, let your hair down, run through a mud puddle, swing on a swing, dive into a lake that you would not normally dive into. Experience things, joy, happiness, fun, with ease, without attachments, without expectations. We just do them because we have the opportunity while we have these bodies. Isn't that amazing? Some of us will choose, as the body ages, will choose to just sit in a little comfort circle that we've created through the ego mind. And we stop doing things, we stop interacting, and we just sit. And most of the time across this country, there are people sitting, watching that television. How many times have you seen that happen? Throughout the decades, right? People having a TV in their bedrooms and going to sleep to Johnny Carson, The Tonight Show. You remember? Think about that now. Has it changed any? Somewhat, maybe. More and more people are determining that they don't really need TV. And they're starting to realize that they're interested in one thing: fun, happiness, joy, bliss, quiet, all of it. Quiet, peace. Have you literally moved yourself? Ask yourselves, how long has it been since I have sat, done nothing, stayed in total silence, stilled this body, and that's it? That's all I did. And to begin to know that you're the God in the body and not the body, and you can pick and choose. The mind and ego will continue. They keep doing their thing. And like I said, they're not enemies. But we don't participate with them. We stop participating. And we just let them go on. And it's just like watching a river flow, right? They just flow by, or clouds in the sky, just float by. You're not participating. And you look at things a lot differently because you start laughing more, you start smiling more. You're kind of like carefree, happy-go-lucky, all the time. Not like, some nutcase or anything, like the society pegs that type of person, but just free-flowing, free-form, no attachment, no expectations, because you're the God. And this is through the heart-mind. It's imperative that we practice all the time to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with ourselves, to be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude, all the time. Practice it all the time, your entire waking hours. Remind yourself when you go into stillness how many things you're grateful for. Why do we do this? It increases genuinely your vibrational frequency. It moves you closer to the God that you are. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Why wouldn't people want to do that? Why wouldn't they care to do it? Now, we look in these bodies. They're relaxed. We're focused on our breath. We've dumped off all the negatives and stresses and anxieties and fears. So the body's just floating right along. And when we look into the body, we see these 7 lights from the tailbone to the top of the head. What are they? Well, on this planet, they're called chakras. What's the definition of chakra? Wheel. These are wheels of light. They're spirit, etheric energy. We, the gods that we are spirit, etheric energy. And we flow through these chakras, wheels of light. These are colors that you wouldn't see on this planet. They're much more vibrant. And you flow through that body you're in, right down to the quantum quark, all the tissue, all the muscle, all the organs, everything, the blood flow, emotions, character, personality that's formed. And we do that all the time, but we aren't consciously aware. We will discover as we rediscover after our amnesia falls away of the gods that we are in these bodies. We will know that we will be able to heal these bodies at a blink of the eye. Automatic. Now, we all reminisce. We all have, think about this, we have over 60,000 thoughts that we generate every day, over 60,000 plus. We have flying by us like clouds in the sky, tens of millions of thoughts, and they're programs. Might as well just call them programs, because they aren't your thoughts. They're everybody else's. You have your subconscious mind. It's been storing thoughts, personalities, comments, beliefs, different perspectives the whole time you've been in it, since it was a baby body. And most of the time we don't know this. So you imagine all of that the subconscious mind stored. We've got 60,000 plus a day that we're putting out, generating out. Thoughts that come in are not yours. Thoughts that you generate and you push them out to the universe are yours. You see how it can get? And how important, imperative it is to stay in the now. And it's no different. It's like when we all do this. None of us are exempt. You're focused on something, you float right off. And it's not like you're intending it either. You just float, you're carried off into another thought process somewhere. And so it's not a biggie. You're very gentle with yourself. You say, I'll focus on my breath and I'll be in the now. And you will 3,000% of the time, which means every time. Every time ego mind tries to pull you away or these thoughts come in, focus on the breath, you'll be in the now. I've had people tell me that sometimes they have, just when they're saying mantras in the morning, prayers, mantras for their day, they said they float off several times and they forget completely of what they were focused on. Whatever the mantra was, they have to go back and do the mantra again to remind themselves again. So you picture yourself, there's three paths, right? You're standing in the center path, circle, golden circle, and you look in front of you and you see these total three paths. And you see the one on the left, which is the past. You see the one on the right, which is the future, and you're standing on the now. Now, they're very similar. They all have trees that have canopied the path, grown over, and they're golden, shimmering trees and the leaves and everything. And then you see the path, which is a vibrant, bright, emerald green, flaming grass. The only difference in these is that the one on the left, the past, looks very worn. The one on the right, the future, looks very worn. The one you're standing on and in front of, the now, looks brand new. You see, because most of us are either in the past or the future. We're not in the now. And then because of that, the ego mind controls a lot of us, and we aren't aware of that. And so what the ego mind does is, no, you can't go in the now. If we go into the now, we won't exist. You can see the fight there from the ego mind. So it will do anything in its power to keep you from being in the now. Hence, that's why we're pulled out with other people's thoughts, and we're misdirected, misguided by the ego mind. Now, we all reminisce. None of us are exempt. We go into the past, and we kind of relive things. We reminisce, and we go into our private library, viewing room, which is the subconscious mind. We open the door, turn on a light, we grab some movies and some books and pictures, and we sit in an easy chair, and we watch some movies, and we reminisce over certain experiences we've had in our past. And on most of them, we reminisce because they were fun, enjoyable, nostalgic. And so, but then we're done. Then we put everything away. We turn the light off and shut the door. We move forward. We're always moving forward. But see, some of us will stay there. And I do not believe it's consciously. I believe it's unconsciously. But we will stay there so long that we'll end up bringing that past into a future that doesn't exist, create that future from that past, relive that past in that future. That's why a lot of people say no matter what we do, we always seem to end up here. Every one of us go into the future. Future doesn't exist because we create the future in the now. But we still go in the future, right? And we've got all kinds of questions. And what we want to be answered. We want those questions to be answered, but we don't realize it's external authority. We're not asking the questions of the God within us. We're asking the questions of external authority. So, but we do it, see? Because we want to know things. And we're so used to being outside of ourselves in the physical material world that we have amnesia about going within. And all the answers to all our questions and beyond are there. So this is where we get frustrated, irritated, because we're told certain things by certain people, and then they don't happen. And so then we go back to those people and we say, why didn't this happen? Well, because of this, this, or this. And a lot of the times what we're told we create. See? Can you imagine when you do not have fear, right? Where it doesn't affect you. Let's put it that way. You don't have fear of success. You don't have fear of love. You don't have fear of poverty. You don't have fear of wealth. You don't have fear of happiness. You don't have fear of sadness. You don't have fear of those things because you have learned about who and what you are and your self-realization that you are the God within that body. And literally, you're on what? What are you on? Vacation. You, the God's on vacation in the body. And the only reason it's bumpy and rough for a lot of us is because we create it to be that way. And we are consciously aware that that's what we're doing. We believe that there's another force that's doing this to us. And that's totally wrong. It's the prosecution of the ego. It's the insecurity of the ego feeling it's being attacked. But it's we're the ones weaving it, putting it together. Keeping our vibrational frequencies as high as possible is absolutely paramount. Focusing on the now, being in the moment, stilling the body and the mind and the ego, focusing on pure silence, peace, not moving anything with the body. Now, since we do know that we are not the body, that we're the kingdom of God, the source, God's source, heaven, and we're consciously aware. Consciously aware is that we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. So we know that we enter these bodies. We power them up. Lungs, air, breathing, everything starts to go online. So we power up the body so the body can support the goddess that we are so that we can experience physical life. So we're heaven. Heaven isn't a place. Heaven is you, the God that you are. On earth, the body. And every step we take on this planet, we're creating paradise. Not only that, we are shining our light. You can't block the light. The light is there constantly. It's infinity and beyond. It doesn't matter whether you're conscious or unconscious. Being conscious knows that you're able to direct the light, and we are flooding this planet head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, infinity and beyond, with our love, the love that we are, the light. And it saturates everything. You could do this all day long, blasting your love light energy everywhere, 360 degrees. You can start with just the room you're in. And then you can branch it out. Branch it out. You're not going to lose any power either, by the way. And you just branch it out because you're part of everything. Everything's part of you. You can't exhaust yourself. That's the ego mind. So you become self-aware. You realize that you are the God. And that this planet is being transformed by 8 billion gods, whether awake or asleep, into a God planet paradise. Can you imagine, just in the humanoid form, 8 billion. We're not talking about the trees, the bushes, the leaves. We're not talking about any of that stuff. The animals, the other animals. So if you were to take a starship off this planet, and you were to look at this planet in its entirety, you would see that it glowed. You would look at the surrounding lights in the universe. They would appear to be like candles lit in the dark, in a dark room. Dim, dim, dim. Now, we also may discover, some of us may discover, that when we decide to leave these bodies, we are the light. We are the God force, love, light, energy. To follow the light is a trap. When you become more consciously aware, you start to realize this. It's a trap. Does it make any sense that you see Aunt Jane and Uncle Billy and all these people, and they're all laughing and hugging you. Why would we retain a physical form after leaving the physical form where the physical form ceases? Why would we maintain that? Because it's a trap. So that we stay in this incessant reincarnation over and over and over again. Now, we communicate with the parts of the gods that we are that are awake, okay? We don't communicate with the ones that are asleep. They'll wake in their own time. We love them just the same. There's no separation, remember. So if parts of us are 1,000 billion light years away, it doesn't matter. We will learn and rediscover that we will be able to plug in the gods that we are to all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, and we will know it instantaneously because of all the gods that we are and all that there is. Universes, galaxies, civilizations. You'll be able to travel in a blink of the eye, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, billions of light years. That's why we're freeing ourselves to be able to do that, to be able to move forward. And we will, and we currently are, and we will continue to do so. You know, all light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. We got the archangels, cherubim, seraphim, architect. We've got the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Vedantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. We've got the off-worlders, galactics, and celestials. We have all the inhabitants of inner Earth, hollow Earth, Agartha, beneath Earth. We have all of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Not the body. The God within it has ascended out of the body. The light energy beings, because of the eyes we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of what is. So we don't see that those who move and exist in the different light spectrums, the red, the infrared, the violet, the ultraviolet, blue, the ultra blue, but they're there. But we are familiar with a small group, and part of that small group, we're intimately connected, these bodies are, totally dependent. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur. You ask yourself, ask the body, can you survive without air, water, fire, earth, ether, wood? Nope. Deeply dependent on these bodies are. That's why every day I thank the element of fire, the element of water. I'm in gratitude for them to help sustain this body that I'm in. Every time I drink water, I thank the magic of the water for helping the body to sustain the God within it. You see how everything is synergistic. There is no separation. That's the total illusion played on this civilization. Now, the ascended masters, they have ascended into physical. They have mastered physical. They have ascended out of physical. They hold pure consciousness God form. We have ascended into physical. We are in the process of mastering physical. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creations. The archangels, cherubim, seraphim, archetypes. Their civilization vibrated a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them like we see each other. The gods within their physical vessel are no different than the gods in our physical vessels. Now, we meet with them, but not planned. It's not like, okay, I'm going to meet with Angel today. We're just randomly going about our business, about the day, and we come across them. They're purposely there on our path. And it's just like a random conversation that we have. And we're not sitting there analyzing it the whole time we're in the interaction. It's something different, though. We know it. There's something different here. And usually after we've had the interaction, it dawns on us, not all the time, but sometimes, that was an angel. That had to be an angel. And then you feel a blossoming of bliss within. Now, they have the same message. They've been delivering that same message to us for lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. And the message is, isn't it absolutely magna glorious to be alive in these bodies? And it is. Every second I am in the deepest of deepest gratitudes that I have this body to experience this physical life. And the interesting thing is that you can have a sore tooth and be grateful that you have a tooth to be sore and a body to experience the soreness. Now, many people wouldn't think that way. But it is the road to bliss. If you were to look, right, through your heart mind, and you saw two roads, right? One was pain, suffering, sadness, depression. Okay? And you could look and you could see all the suffering and pain and everything. And then you saw this other road, and it said bliss. And you could see the bliss everywhere just from standing in front of that road all the way as far as you could see and beyond. So you say, well, I'm going to take the road to bliss. So you try to take the road to bliss, and it's like there's an invisible wall there. You can't get on the road. And why? And then you look at the one with pain and suffering, and you can walk right on it. Why is that? It's because the ego mind is in charge of you. And until you discover that which you are within that body, and you're able to still the ego mind and master it, and you aren't going to be able to take that road. Because that road is not external reality. It's the God within you and all that goes with it. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time, in the tens of thousands or tens of millions. And, if you want them to, because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. So you ask them, they're there in the blink of the eye, and you are in bliss. Now, the off-worlders, galactics, and celestials. Over 1,000 species, civilizations travel through the solar system in the outer rim of the Milky Way galaxy every single day. Trillions throughout the universes every single day. However, we are familiar with a small group, Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Feline, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. This particular group has been assisting us in our evolution. enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now we're all gathered, so to speak, never apart, no separation. And in the Gugaplexes, one Gugaplex fills this universe with not even a square inch of sacred space to spare. These are trillions of Gugaplexes from trillions of universes from every direction. All focused on this planet. Some carrying physical form, some not. Hundreds of millions totally focused and consciously aware every day for over 4 years. So to speak, arm in arm, hand in hand, we're all gathered here in full compassion, non-judgment, non-negativity, non-ego, stillness, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, prosperity, abundance, tranquility, benevolence. And we're all one, and we're all God, and we're all love, and our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to grow, intensify, and expand. We immediately form a white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This white fire light is the God soul. It's the kingdom of God, the heaven, you in that body. It's saturating, permeating, and flooding this planet, infinity and beyond. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. Pure, deep, eternal love. Highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. We begin to ascend above the planet. We're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. Nothing like you would imagine on this planet, much, much, much more. So we try to describe it. We describe it the best we can. And it's like a grand finale fireworks display that nothing we've ever seen on this planet. And a grand laser light show display and this magnificent ballroom globe that we're familiar with that reflects lights here on this planet that we have in room. So this one's a trillion times larger and a trillion times more intense. So we combine all of those into one crescendo. That's about as close as we'll get to describing the ocean of glitter. Now we're curious, so we go to the reflective points. We discover these little tiny microscopic mirrors, perfectly edged, and we enter them. And we're absolutely amazed because of the fact that all of us gathered, all of us that are consciously aware, both asleep and awake, are teaching us. We are learning constantly. We are experiencing learning constantly. We are teaching each other constantly. We either learn and teach ourselves or we are learning and teaching others. Students, teachers, students, or both. It's all the time. It's infinite. However, many of us have been so seduced into the external, physical, material world that we aren't consciously aware of that. But as our journeys begin to accelerate, intensify with the gods within us, we'll begin to discover that by being still, listening, or just watching without judgment, without any connection to the physical material world, like a tree. We've been taught that the tree is life, but that's not true. It's the God that enters the tree that gives the tree life so that God can experience the tree. Everything. Bug in a rug, fly on the wall, bird in the sky, dog, cat, bird, everything, all of it. They're teaching us. There is a God within them. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are protected with this beautiful white fire armor, nothing like the armor on this planet, way beyond that. And this emanates from where? The God, you in that body. The pure, deep, eternal love, you in that body. Peace, love, joy, you in that body. And it can't be breached, it's seduced, or anything. It's impregnable. If that highest of the highest high vibrational frequency of pure, deep, eternal love, all of the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies or demons can't come near us. They'll vaporize. They know it. Ever, ever. So no attachments, no possessions, or anything like that. But only you have the power. That if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency, whether consciously or unconsciously, low enough, with hatred, greed, anger, fear, revenge, hurriedness, manipulation, dishonesty, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with double column of light. First part of the column is the purple transmuting flame. We created this part of the column to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness, where they are no more. Then we're met with the other part of the column of light, the violet ray. Created this part of the column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. And we can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light that we, the gods within these bodies, created to remind us all that we are the sun, the sunlight. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the skies and the clouds. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are the trees, the forests, the soils. We're everything. Everything is us. So the next time you view a sunset or sunrise, a starry lit night sky, an ocean front, a mountain view, and normally we've been taught that that's separate. So we say, isn't that beautiful? But do it from your heart mind next time. That is the God that I am. That is the God that I am. That is the God that I am. We continue to descend above the planet. Some of us decide to step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above them. If we're carrying physical form, and we do this because it is fun, and we can. We come in immediate contact with this massive crystalline light tower, and we created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column of the tower, we see this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere, we see this golden white bowl of light. In turn, it is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light that never seem to end, like infinity and beyond. They've created this super bright white, misty, cloudish form. It's sparkling and electricity, and it's just shimmering, and it enters our heart minds. And it's like a warm embrace that never ends. We discover that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest, purest, eternal love. And then comes gratitude, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, tremendous prosperity, tremendous abundance. And we discover that all of that is a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. Now, we designed the top of this crystalline tower so that the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, 24/7, infinity and beyond, as it is doing right now. We are all in this golden ocean. This golden ocean is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. We, all of us, are drops of that golden ocean. We also hold the essence, that golden ocean. Golden ocean is a drop, drops of the golden ocean. The only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It's at center circle. We created this sphere over 4 years ago. It holds over 1,800 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Every day over 4 years. Hundreds of millions of us on and off world. For the full, complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. You can tap into that anytime you wish. Focus on the breath. Still the ego mind, subconscious mind. Don't move the body. And listen. And yes, you are awake. Each moment there is an awake, aware energy here now. Know that this cannot change. Rest deeply in this knowingness. It will create a transformation in your being. It is exactly what you will need today for transcending your very next unconscious momentary lapse of mental jargon. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. This moment, this now, contains everything. Surrender to it. And guess what? You'll actually get the whole universe with it. There is an extraordinary depth to any seemingly ordinary life. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, the following morning, and we will return here Monday, February 14th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.